All right, hello everyone. So today I want to talk about the defense of getting out of debt. And what I mean by this is honestly, we talk a lot about offense when we start getting out of debt. We talk about being gazelle intense on getting out of debt. We talk about how to invest, how to just grind, how to just, get a side hustle, do all of this, but we rarely ever talk about the defense things that we need in place to keep us motivated, to keep us grounded, and to keep our emotions in check. So this would be like a defense thing. So there's essentially two different areas. I'm only going to touch on one area today, but the two areas, I'll let you know what the two areas are. The first area is insurance. You need insurance to make sure your family is looked after, because doing all of this steps and not having insurance and have you pass away or something does nothing for your family. So have insurance to cover your family. And two is emergency funds. And yes, I said funds, and you'll understand why. And I'm going to touch on emergency funds today. So the first emergency fund I want to talk about is the starter emergency fund. So this is just a simple $1,000 you put in your bank, and it's just set for small emergencies while you're getting out of debt. The reason why it's only $1,000 is because your main focus when you're getting out of debt needs to be actually getting out of debt and not worried about stockpiling a whole bunch of cash. You need to be gazelle intense and focused, and this is your first step, so it's got to get traction quick. In order for this process to work, you need traction quick. So get that $1,000 in place and just keep going and paying off debt. The thing about emergency funds is if you use them for an emergency, you have to replenish them. We have to stop believing that, we have some money, we'll use it up, we won't replenish it, and then next time, oh wait, we don't have enough in extra cash laying around, I guess we'll have to use a credit card. The point here is we just don't want to use debt for anything. We have to take debt off the table and in all forms. So if you wind up getting a flat tire and you spend your emergency fund, boost it up before you start paying on debt again. It's so important that you have a important defense in place that just allows you to not worry, to have your feelings and emotions drop down, and you just get more comfortable, because then emergencies that happen don't feel like emergencies anymore. They just feel like little inconveniences. So that's your first starter one. Once you are fully out of debt, except your house, now this is the second emergency fund you need. Now you need an emergency fund that's 3 to 6 months of your expenses. What's significant about this one is it's a bigger emergency fund, so you have a lot more security with it. And it's just honestly, if you lose a job or you're out of work for 3 to 6 months or something big happens to you, you have some time to recover and you have that stockpiled ready to go. And again, with this, as well as the small emergency fund, replenish it every time you use it. Now, 3 to 6 months of expenses kind of varies for a lot of people. Basically, if you have a really secure household, you only need about 3 months of expenses. If you want to go more, you can go more. But for 6 months, this is more for like unstable, or if you have like a big family and you have a lot of kids that break things, you may want 6 months. It's completely up to you. And the next thing I want to mention is just where you store this. So don't store this in a thing that gets locked in. Don't store this in the saving account that get locked in, because this is just, you want the cash ready and good to just pay the emergency, not have to, have a bunch of fees attached to it when you pull it out. And the second thing is your emergency fund is not an investment. So if you try to make a bunch of money on your emergency fund, that's not the point of it. It's insurance. It's not an investment. So although you can make a little bit money on it, that's not the point of it. The overall arching point of the emergency fund is just to let it sit there. It's insurance. It doesn't need to make you money. It's just there for security. And if something happens, you have it readily available, no strings attached to pay for it. Anyways, that's all I got today. Cheering for you. Keep going.